Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 3. We are now, as of last episode as well, on track for being able to watch through, obviously skipping 16, because we already 1x16, but we should be watching all the way through, so that's cool. But yeah, last episode we met Master Plo Koon, one of the coolest Jedi I have seen anyway. I loved his, the way he looked. I loved his voice, the way he spoke, the way he carried himself. I love the space fighting where they left their pod and went into the vacuum of space, and he was using the Force to move the clones around and push them into advantageous positions to take out the droids and everything. Very cool. But we now have this giant death ship out there that is capable of EMPing a ship and taking its shields down so then they can blast it. So it's a weapon that I imagine we need to deal with, but Anakin came to the rescue of Master Plo Koon, saved him and some of those other clones, and got the hell out of there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get into this episode. Do we continue on that storyline? Do we go back for that weapon now that we know what it is and that it exists and everything and all that? But yeah, the only way to find out is to watch it, right, guys? So we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I need to adjust. My panties are riding up. No, I'm just kidding. I have pajama pants on and they're pulled up a little bit. There we go. My ankles are showing. How scandalous. Okay. General Grievous. So we're preparing a counterattack. We are going to be going after it. Nice. Nice to continue a storyline. Well, we've seen the death of Grievous, right? So we already know. But they will probably at least destroy the weapon. I imagine Grievous is gonna tactically escape. Hmm. Huh. I believe what Master Plo is saying is gonna happen. His, I didn't realize his, weird horn things on his head are, connected to whatever that machine is. It's, plugged in. Jeez. That would suck to be a robot, but still, suffer. Obviously I know he has fleshy bits in there. But that would suck to still suffer from, coughing and colds and shit like that. These guys aren't gonna make it, are they? No. That's just ridiculous, man. Look at all those guns. Holy Jesus. Hmm. Well, damn. Well, I think Grievous will live, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the ship that is in such good hands may not be in existence for very long. She wants to go hang out with Plo Koon. Man, can you imagine trying to remember, like, the geography of space? I don't even know where some states are in the US. I used to. Let alone the countries on this planet, let alone knowing where all these different systems are. Alright, sweet. I think he knows that stuff might go wrong and he's gonna be there to help compensate, potentially. These crazy fucks. I was told a bit of their history. They, like, their race survived through cloning and doing some really fucked up shit to survive in order to ascend to what they've become. It's some crazy shit. R2E, oh. I'm scared for Ahsoka. Maybe she has some plot armor, but I always feel like that seat where the droids are is always getting, like, hit, right? You always see the droid get taken out, and then they're like, "Oh, I guess I got to do this one myself." All right. Jesus Christ. This guy just wants to kill people so badly. Alright. So they're going around it, whereas we have Anakin's plan to go through a shortcut. I guess they're in different seats. I thought she was, like, in with R2, but R2's a little farther down. That's pretty cool. I like the way that they dock like that. Such a crazy, creepy design for those aliens. Hmm. I hope you don't die, broadside. He just wants to kill people, doesn't he? So badly. Ah. I didn't realize that was the name of it. You underestimate my power! Is it unlimited? Hmm. Uh-oh. Listen to him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Manta. Oh, shit! That's terrifying. Dude, freaking... Oh my god, that's a sight to behold. Damn, freaking, like, creatures that live off of the nebula or live in the nebula. Maybe they feed on it. That's so cool. No! That's unfortunate. Oh, that's matchstick. Okay, nice. Alright, you gotta feel your way through. I wonder if Ahsoka's gonna learn that lesson here soon. Uh-oh. See? See what I'm talking about? It's always the R2 unit. Or the droid that's on their ship. Getting bopped. I love that it happened this episode after I talked about it. Plo Koon, be okay. Why did it show him at the end? You're there, right, Plo Koon? Oh no, Grievous is gonna be pissed. Think of how many of those people he can't kill. It's like 50%. Okay, good. He's okay. I may need to trim this a bit. It's getting like a little thicky. Alright. Let's hope they can stop them before they destroy the facility. He just wants to... Yeah, he wants to kill them before they get away. Such an ominous Roger Roger. No! We must stop them from firing! Do something! Ah! God damn it, Grievous. They've got defensive fighters too, son of a bitch. Who cares? That just means more killing. Oh. Alright. Evasive, right? This is the whole point of bringing fighters. Oh no, the damage. No, his engine. Oh, he took someone else with him. Damn. And another one too got hit. Damn. Yeah. One of them didn't even have a name. Like Matchstick and Tag. But it was 6, 7, and 10. One of them they didn't even name. She has faith. Or it has faith. I don't know if it is a she. Hmm. So I was worried about, like, how do you stop them from... Probably a good... God, there's so many guns! No! Yeah, I mean, Plo Koon mentioned that might be some losses on this one. Alright. Good shit, Anakin. I know you're stubborn sometimes, but nice to see you adjust. Nice. Come on, be enough. Might, at the very least, might mess up their targeting if they make that ring tilt. Alright. Yep. Couple. Oh shit, okay. That was super effective. Hell yeah. So because Anakin adjusted the plan, Grievous probably gets away, right? Is that what happens? Uh-oh. Nice. Alright. They did their job. Did they not have any more weapons? Did they, like... They only had a certain amount of torpedoes, maybe? I'm interested why they couldn't have launched the torpedoes and then double backed and gone for the tower, because it's not like he left or anything, right? But maybe they didn't have any more torpedoes left in order to bomb the tower as well. It was like a one or the other kind of thing. They had their little blasters, but that probably wouldn't have been enough to go for that. I love how both of them are on it. From a certain point of view. By the way, guys, I was updated on kind of the timeline a little bit of the Clone Wars, and I made the mistake of thinking in the same movie we had Order 66 and then Yoda saying, like, the Clone War has begun. So I thought Order 66 and the clones turning on us was why it was called the Clone Wars, but I was totally wrong on that timeline, and I've been corrected and understand the timeline a bit better. So I apologize for being so off in previous videos. I'm still learning. I've never delved super deep into the Star Wars universe, so that is it for episode 3 of season 1. There's nothing after. It always throws me. No, there's nothing after. It wouldn't have cut away. Alrighty. So yeah, basically what I was saying there was typically I watched the first, like, the 6 movies a long time ago, and then I rewatched them recently, but I still didn't, like, you know, it's hard to remember everything from that while I'm watching so many other shows and everything and be able to memorize, like, the whole timeline and everything. So there was just a couple scenes I just merged in my head, and that was one of them where I thought Order 66 dropped, and then I think my main thing was I put those 2 scenes together because the Clone Wars, I assumed they were called the Clone Wars because the clones like rebelled against us, right? Um, that was my assumption of what the Clone Wars meant, which is why I, in my head, I guess, merged those two scenes of, you know, Order 66 happening and them saying like Clone Wars has begun. It was just a mix up on my part, and now I understand that pretty much. I'm pretty sure they were saying Order 66 is towards the end of, or pretty much is the end of the Clone Wars. Man, my voice is dying. 1 second. Oh man, okay. But either way, that's beside the point. Like I said, I have a whole write-up now, and I can also refer back to it, and I might do it periodically just to help refresh my memory on the timeline and everything. So I was thinking we were watching this building up to Order 66, which then would continue on with the Clone Wars. But I mean, hell, we're probably going to be seeing. Now that I understand it, we're probably not going to see Order 66 until the end of this series, right? Like the end of Clone Wars, we might see Order 66, right? And then the season ends, or the show ends, I should say. But yeah, we had a continuation on the story, which is very cool. We have been, you know, a lot of the beginning episodes were jumping around. Some of them had like connections to each other based off like the battles that were happening on planets. But this one kind of tied directly in. They got away from the big old Malevolence ship, and then they had to figure out a way to stop it from just causing havoc, right? Freaking Grievous just wanting to murder everything, doesn't want a single person getting away. Like, I understand not wanting someone to get away because he doesn't want them to learn of the ship and stuff like that. But it wasn't just that. He was excited, or not excited, but he was angry at the idea that the longer it took them to get to that medical facility, the more clones, like, recovered and left kind of thing, right? Like, and that was before he learned that they knew and they were evacuating and everything. So, he just so badly wants to kill as many people as he possibly can. It's almost like he has like a tracker that people know, right? Like, does he have a kill count that people are able to follow? And he's like, people must know how many people I've killed. You can't let a single one get away. It was just kind of like comical how much he wanted to kill. But I mean, that overconfidence is your folly when you think you're in a ship that cannot be defeated. It was defeated pretty easily. Like, sure, we lost a handful of Shadow Squadron, and that sucks. It does, like, yes, they're clones and everything, but they seem to be like a really good group of clones, and they've gone on a lot of missions together, and now they just lost like half their crew, or roughly, give or take. But it's really too bad. But they got the job done, so, you know, acceptable losses, I guess. Seeing Anakin be able to give up on his plan to kill Grievous, it took him a few to finally overcome that. You know, there's still that part of him that was like, that just wanted to keep going and say screw it and hopefully make it. But if he would have done that, the medical facility probably would have been gone. Because they probably wouldn't have made it in time, I don't think, before the ion cannon hit it and then they shot their cannons. So it was definitely a good call. I'm glad Plo Koon was there to kind of like be an extra voice of reason other than just Ahsoka, because I think sometimes Anakin is like, you're my Padawan, you know? I'm not gonna listen to you because I know better than you because I'm your teacher, right? But having another Master Jedi there with him to be able to tell him, hey, I think we need to do this instead. I think Anakin took that a little more to heart, which is why they had like kind of the jokes at the end where Ahsoka's like, hey, I said to do this, and they're like, yeah, go back to sucking on lollipops, kid. But yeah. It was a good episode. Other than that, I mean, well, other than that, I don't know why I said it that way. I liked the episode as a whole. I don't really have much more to say. it was a lot of like action, which was fun. You know, seeing them navigating through space. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. The space manta ray things were crazy. I love the idea of things surviving in places that humans can't survive. It's both terrifying and really cool. So just the idea that, you know, everyone's avoiding these like nebulas because they're hard to travel through, and these guys are traveling through them. It's already rough enough traveling through them, but then they also have these like creatures that are in there that can survive in the vacuum of space and suck on the gases of the nebula and everything. It's like, holy shit, that's cool. There was a few moments in Doctor Who where there were like creatures that could survive in places that like that. Same with like ocean creatures and everything are very intriguing to me, especially like the deep parts of the ocean that, you know, like we know more about space than we do our oceans, and that is terrifying but also so damn interesting to me. Because, you know, there's I think there's a part of a lot of people, but I don't want to speak for everyone, but there's at least a part of me that wishes, like, don't get me wrong, I love the time we're living in. I love the technological era. I love having these smartphones that are mini computers in my pocket. I can play games on them. I love the computer games and everything. I'm addicted to freaking computer gaming and all that. So I don't want to live in the past, but there is a part of me that wishes there was still parts of the world that could be discovered, and the ocean is kind of like that, right? Ocean and space is like almost all we have left. Pretty much the rest of the earth is discovered, right? And it's like I want to exist in a time where we discover some like crazy things that have never been seen before, but it gets harder and harder the more the more we've discovered. I don't really know. I mean, maybe I've missed out, but I don't really know that in my lifetime has much been discovered, right? Like we had already been to the moon by the time I was born, you know. Um there was like, what else? I mean, new species of shit has like been found, but a lot of that has been like alternate versions of species we already know. Like one of my friends was just talking either today or last night about like a new dinosaur species being realized or found out, and he was saying that's happened several times, but usually it's like a raptor that has its tail leaning to the right rather than leaning to the left. Its tailbone is like shaped a little different or something, and it's like new species, you know. So it's nothing like too crazy. I'm trying to think if there's been. I don't really remember any other big like revelations, but anyway. But yeah, just that whole thing with these manta rays that can live in space. Like, can you imagine if we discovered a creature that could live in space, like in our world? That'd be nuts. I mean, any kind of life that isn't on our planet is nuts to discover, right? Even when you just hear about like, oh, we found like a tiny little bacteria on Mars or something, right? Like, I don't know if that's happened, but I feel like we might have found like tiny bits of bacteria in places like in space before, but like even that kind of thing is crazy. I can imagine finding like a bigger species, right? I'd love to like aliens or like other. It doesn't. When I say aliens, it doesn't have to be people. Like even just creatures, like another like habitable planet that has like creatures on it. In my lifetime, it would be so cool to learn that that's out there. But I don't even know if that's gonna happen. We'll see. But anyway, I don't really have much more to say. As you can see, I'm rambling about other things now. I mean, it has context with the show because it has to do with the manta rays because those are so cool. But other than that, I don't really have more to say. I'm excited to watch more and see where we go from here now that we destroyed this ship. You know, I imagine we're gonna see Grievous get away and be scolded by Dooku, right? And all that. So I look forward to that because I want to see his bitch ass punked, you know? So thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my Patreon if you want to see updates from me and new releases and new shows and everything. I announce it all there. I've been trying to do better about using my Twitter. I never used to use it, but I'm starting to. At Morthadon. I'll try to have it in the description. I really need to remember to go add that in to all my videos and everything. Check it out if you want. Subscribe, like I said, and check out my Patreon if you want more content. 2 episodes ahead through the early access tier. All that good stuff. Check it out. Link in the description below. Should be popping up on the screen, and I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.